Hello again in English. Yeah. Well, I'm late 2 minutes because I was just sharing my information about my live tomorrow. There will be a live with Leticia. She's a piercer from Brazil and she speaks English. So, guys, we're going to talk about piercing. We're going to talk about other stuff. It will be very interesting. Hi, Nadine. How are you? So, guys, I'm just introducing. Just give you a few seconds, if you please. Just use the little arrow, the aeroplane, and just share it with one or two friends so they can watch. I'm going to answer all your questions, and I'm going to talk a little bit about whatever you need about piercings. Okay. But if you have any other questions, please let me know. I'll try to answer all of them. Okay, I was just mentioning that tomorrow I'll have a live with Leticia. She's a Brazilian piercer, and she's really good, and she speaks English as well. So, guys, if you have any question, we're going to maybe do a mixed live. It's going to be very good. So I'm just going to share this with a few friends and give you a second to share it as well, and then I'll start. Just please start writing your questions, send me, and I'll start answering them as much as I can. Okay, I thought about doing this live today. I had some already scheduled with some guests and some that I'm going to do alone about some issues that I like daily deal with. And so this one today, I decided to talk a little bit also about something that I see a lot in Egypt especially. And like I told you before, I have a lot of people messaging me every day with questions about piercings they did in another place, and now they have problems with them. Oh my God, it's not a very good feeling, because as a professional, I help you a lot, but guys, it's your body. I'm pretty sure you don't want to have a wrong piercing, or you don't want to deal with complications for sure. So Nadine is telling me, I got a piercing but the placement was wrong. How long do I have to wait to re-pierce after I got it removed? So there's no time, because it's like the healing time. Okay, when we say a nostril takes about 4 months or longer to heal, because sometimes it takes less, sometimes it takes longer. And if you have issues, if you have complications, those 4 months that were supposed to be the healing time, they will of course be more than. Okay, so but after you remove a piercing, if it was still healing, once you remove the piece of jewelry, your body is going to close the wound right away, or as fast as possible, to avoid the entrance of any bacteria or any virus that can cause any complication. So our body is amazing, so it does this. So whenever we remove a piece of jewelry that is like inside a healing wound, the body is going to close the wound. It can be like a thin layer that sometimes you go to a piercer shop or whatever, and the piercer removes the old jewelry you have and puts another one, and it already has that little layer and easily can be opened again, so there's no problem. But the longer you take the jewelry, the more the body is going to close the wound. Okay, so you have to wait until it's fully healed until you get it repierced. Okay, how do you say that? How do you see that? Well, usually it's better, I always say it's better to leave a little bit longer. Okay, because imagine when you do like when you scratch yourself, imagine that you do you cut yourself or whatever. You see there's like a crust that is going to form. So that is our protection. The body cells, they protect the entrance of strange cells, bacteria or whatever, by forming that crust. If you remove that crust, okay, I'm pretty sure your parents, your grandparents told you so many times when you were a child, don't take the crust out because it's going to take longer to heal. Yes, because when you take the crust, you're making a new wound, and your body needs to again close the wound and start like creating new skin to close it, to protect it, etc., etc. So that crust is going to fall out by itself when it's time. Okay, when the new skin, when the wound is already closed. So the longer you let the piercing heal, the better. It's like it's still healing and you're now putting another wound on it. Okay, usually when you remove a jewelry and you want to re-pierce it, most probably is going to be almost at the same place. Maybe a lobe or a cartilage or a nostril, belly button. So it's going to be almost at the same place. Maybe you had a crooked belly button, and then like imagine the wound, it's like this, but then it's going to you're going to do a new wound that is going to be straight. So most of the old wound is going to be used for the new wound. Okay, hi Shema, miss you. I hope you're totally okay now. So guys, and usually not before at least, I would say, 2 months. Okay, why? Any healing time, like I told you before, any healing time has 3 phases. Okay, 3 phases. Yes, so those 3 phases, any wound, any healing, okay, those 3 phases, the first one, it lasts like less than a week, 3, 4, 5 days, and it's when your wound is swollen, red, a little bit hot, warm. Okay, so that's the first stage. Then the second stage takes around 2 weeks. So, and then the third stage can take up to months or even a year. Okay, depends on the kind of wound you have. So at least these 2 phases need to be finished. So we have 1 week plus 2 to 3 weeks. It's going to be a month at least, and then we need to give a little bit more time for the third phase. It's the maturation phase, that the new skin is going to be created around the wound, okay, to cover the wound. So guys, at least, so let's give 1 month for these 2 phases and at least a month or so for this one. Okay, so I would say never before around 2 months. Yes. So any other questions? I told you on the description that I was going to talk about like if you did a piercing, if you want to do a piercing, if you want to be a piercer, and I have news about that. Guys, if you want to do a piercing, be careful. Uh, Luckily, we are starting to have good piercers in Egypt. Yes, we are. I already know one. I already told you about one. Dina Magdi from Constellations. We're going to do a live together in a few weeks. So, and there will be surprises for those who watch the live. So keep in touch. And I'm going to also do a live with an Egyptian girl that she went out of Egypt and she went to work in a very, very famous piercing shop, and now she's back in Egypt. And she knows everything about safety, about jewelry, and she's creating something new and something really awesome. Okay, so when you ask me, oh, do you recommend a place, before I always answered you, sorry, I cannot recommend the place because I don't have any place that I can trust to send you. And guys, I know how things work in Egypt. Okay, I know how things work in a lot of places in Portugal as well. It's not just Egypt. Okay, a lot of places around the world are still not doing the things properly because the only things that matters are money, or is money. Okay, so people don't invest on knowledge. They just start piercing people, and they see that they can earn some money, just buy cheap jewelry, and then that's it. Okay, but be careful. The same way we are always updating for a better phone, for a better clothes, for better doctors, even doctors, guys. If you search for a doctor, you try to search for someone that is actually certified, isn't it? So if you, hi Leticia, see you tomorrow. Hey, by the way, I already told you your English is awesome. So tomorrow is going to be amazing. So I was saying, you guys, when you search for a doctor, you search for someone that is certified. And usually you ask your friends, hey, do you know a doctor, dermatologist? Do you know a dentist that it's good, that it's safe, blah, blah, blah. So you always, or most of the times you ask your friends for recommendations. Guys, a piercer is someone that is going to deal with your health, okay? Because it's a person that is going to punch you, not punch you, punch. Okay, it's going to like stick a needle on you, and it's going to create an open wound. It's the one of the most dangerous wounds we have. Open wound because it opens our body to infections. That's why it's called an open wound. Okay, we have to be very careful. If we get a bacteria or something that is really dangerous and severe, we can have really bad complications. Okay, so be careful. So when you search for a piercer, please always search for someone that is certified. In Egypt, unfortunately, I only know 3 people that are certified. Okay? 2 of them I already told you about it today, and one of them told me that she was certified, and then I saw that she was doing a lot of mistakes. So I don't know how a certified person can do those mistakes. Okay, so I don't know. Okay, it's just about the money, and that's not good. So search for a certified piercer. If you guys know someone else that is certified, please let me know, because my clients and people are always asking me to recommend, and I recommend people. Okay, I'm not there, and even if I am, people ask me, and if I tell you you can go to this place is because I know that person, it's safe. If I tell you I don't know, it's not because I want to be selfish and I don't want you to go to another place. No, it's because I cannot trust, or I cannot send you to someone that I cannot trust, okay? Then you'll have complications and you'll contact me saying, hey, Suvi, you sent me to this guy or this girl and they mess up with my body and I had these complications and da 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 da. So, I know how I do my stuff. And guys, I started from zero, okay? When I did my certification, I learned things that were not correct, okay? So being certified, it doesn't tell you that you're good already. You have to keep on studying, you have to keep on improving. When I did my certification, things from there until today, they changed a lot. Yesterday, I was registering myself to another online course, and I was like, let me see how many, since I came to Portugal, and we are in in the middle of this pandemic, and a lot of things we can do online. That's good. That's a good thing. I started looking at how many courses I did and how much money I spent already. It's less than a year, guys, less than a year, and I already spent around more than $500 in piercing courses, in things to improve my knowledge, okay? Yeah, a lot of money. And I'm not earning any money now because I'm in lockdown in Portugal, not working, just teaching, okay? Just giving piercing courses, just teaching. But I invested in myself because I want to learn more. Because the more I learn, the better I will be to my clients, the better I will teach my students, okay? So if I just learn how to grab a needle and stick the needle on someone's body, that's not enough. Okay, and unfortunately in Egypt there are a lot of piercers. They didn't do any certification at all. Okay, so can you imagine? So I'm waiting for your questions. Okay, I'm just talking, but I'm waiting for your questions. Please write down your questions and I'll answer. Guys, one thing, a client of mine yesterday, she's like thrilled that, I want to pierce because I want to do something before you arrive, something simple, because then when you arrive I want to do something more complicated, a project, and I want those to be healed so I can do the others, okay? So she knows who she is, and she was like, do you recommend this person? And I said, well, do you want me to be honest? No. And she was like, but a lot of my friends went there and their piercings were just like healed perfectly and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, are you sure? Yeah, maybe, but each body is different, okay? And one thing that you have to search, she sent me like a link of, see, it has this machine to sterilize, okay? And then I saw the little video he has, and he grabs from inside the sterilization machine, the autoclave, a big bag full of jewelry. Okay, a bag like this, full of jewelry. Maybe maybe guys, around 50 pieces of jewelry. And then he opens the bag. Guys, the moment you open the bag, it's not sterilized anymore. The moment you open this, it's not sterilized anymore. So that's why this can only be opened at the moment is going to be used, at the moment is going to be placed in the client's body. It needs to be open in front of the client. Okay, I have this. So guys, if you go to a piercer shop, like you go to a dentist, they open these bags. So they are sterilization bags. So this Caesar is ready to go to the autoclave, but this is not sterilized yet. You see this here? It's blue. So it tells me it's not sterilized yet. When it goes into the autoclave and it goes into the vapor and the time, the sterilization process, this turns brown or black, depends on the paper, okay? So whenever you go to a piercer shop, please make sure you look at this. If they have this, yes, it's okay, but this needs to be brown or black. If it's like this, it's not sterilized. It's just placed inside this bag and that's it. It's not sterilized. And why do you need to have these sterilized? Everything that goes into your body or gets in contact with your body needs to be sterilized. Because if I use this, imagine guys, imagine I have someone with HIV that goes to my shop, okay? And that person is afraid and doesn't tell me that he has HIV, okay? It's one of the questions there. And it's not because you have HIV that you cannot have a piercing. Yes, you can. But you have to tell the person, okay? Because we're going to be more careful with it. We have to be careful, but we're going to be extra careful. So, if this gets in contact with the body fluids or the blood or whatever, it's going to remain here. And even if I clean it with alcohol, alcohol doesn't disinfect. It just cleans. Oh, sorry, alcohol just disinfects. It doesn't sterilize. What's the difference? Sterilization kills all the living forms in any piece, okay? So all the virus, all the bacteria, they are killed, okay? Disinfect is just the less strong or the weaker bacteria, okay? So I use this on that person, sorry, and then I'm going to use on you. What is going to happen? I'm going to create a wound, so it's going to be in contact with your body, with your blood. There's a virus here that I cannot see, and I'm going to use this on your body. What's going to happen? You're going to get infected. This is how dangerous it is to go to certain places that don't sterilize their stuff. So imagine that I have this and I open this before I'm going to use it on you, and I place it on the table and I touch it with my bare hands with no gloves, and before that I touched someone's hand, or I sneezed, or I touched my face or my mouth or whatever, and I don't know, I have something and I touch my hands. You know now about corona, wash your hands and blah blah blah, and even then, even washing your hands, it's not safe. So I touch this with my hands and I put a bacteria or a virus here, and I'm going to use on you. This must be open, this is sterilized and can only be touched with sterile gloves. Okay, guys? Yes, sterile only touches sterile. Yeah? So, jewelry needs to be sterilized individually, and everything needs to be open. Okay? They cannot be attached, because these little shreds here, they can get contaminated, and if they are inside, the sterilizing process cannot be, maybe doesn't go inside that well, and it can have some bacteria or virus inside. So jewelry must be sterilized individually and open, and you only open this in front of your client. The time is going to be used. You saw that my scissor is open, okay? So this needs to be open because here usually it's where everything gets inside. So it needs to be sterilized open so everything is disinfected, is sterilized, okay? So be careful. Taking a jewelry from inside the box, cleaning it with alcohol or whatever, it's not safe anymore. I used to do it, yes, I used to do it because it was the way I learned. But then I started studying and I saw that it's not safe to my clients. So I got an autoclave to sterilize and to do things properly. Okay? I invested because it's not just knowing how to pierce, it's invest and get better. Someone asked me how to be certified in Egypt. So, Narmin, as far as I know, until today, there's no certification in Egypt. I'm a certified piercer and I'm a teacher, a trainer, a piercing trainer here in Portugal. Okay, I train piercers, people that want to be piercer, here in Portugal in a studying center. I've been organizing an online course in English, especially for people in Egypt. Okay, I'm going to give a certification at the end for those who finish the course. I think compared to what exists in Egypt, that will be more than enough, because what you're going to learn, it's even more than in some places I've looked about certification. Okay, so I already have some people that contacted me about the course. I have a list of people that are interested on it. I have a few that are already registered, and I'm going to open very, very soon. I'm just finishing because I want to create something that it's useful and it's going to be with you for the rest of your life. Like, I'm going to teach you the basic and a little bit more, and you can watch and keep on studying for as long as you want. Okay, so stay tuned. I'm just finishing because since it's an online course, so I can reach everyone with now this corona thing, and if you're not in Egypt and if you're in another place and you want to do the course as well, you can. So because it's an online thing, it requires a little bit more effort, okay? And yeah, people that know me, when I do anything, I like to do things properly and well. Okay, so if you have any questions, just ask me and I will let you know. Okay, so more questions, guys. While you don't send the questions, I'm going to keep on talking about piercing. So if you want to do a piercing, please search for someone. Okay, your friends went to a place and it went well, blah blah blah. But guys, as I was telling you, the same way you look for a good doctor, always look for a good piercer. And it's not a shame if you go to a place and you don't like what you see and you leave, because you are paying a service. Okay, you are paying for something that it's about your health. Okay, so if you go to a place and you see that the person doesn't sterilize stuff, like the jewelry is not safe or whatever, you can say, okay, thank you, I'll be back or not. Okay, but first thing, search. Okay, send a message, ask how they sterilize their stuff, ask what kind of jewelry they use, ask for the jewelry certification. Yes, you can ask, and if they don't have it, Guys, it's because it's not a certified one. And what's the meaning of that? If the piercer doesn't have a certification on the jewelry, it's because maybe it's something that comes from China. And yes, I saw on that person's profile that most of the jewelry he uses is from China. Guys, it's not that China is that bad, but we know the quality of Chinese stuff. Yes, we know. Come on, you guys know, no? Yeah. Like, they are cheap for a reason, because the quality, it's not that good. Hi, Evelyn, how are you? So, as for the jewelry report, the certification, guys, let me just do something. Yes, I used to have that jewelry. Yes. Let me just do something. I will just leave for 1 minute. Just 2 seconds. I'm still here. I'm back. So, I just went to my old box of jewelry. Okay, so this jewelry, when I did my certification and I went to Egypt, what if a piercer does curation when piercing? Should we trust that? Fatma, curation? What's that? Please specify. I don't understand what you mean. So when I got my first pack of jewelry, it was from a friend, because I wanted to have jewelry in Egypt. Yeah, and I didn't know any suppliers. And you know that it's not easy to have things in Egypt. Not the simple earring. Oh, okay. We're going to talk about it. Yes. So a friend of mine told me, like, gold things and chains and okay. So this friend told me, oh, you can order from this place and you have like cheap jewelry. So guys, I ordered because I didn't know, and I was trusting my friend that was a piercer. He's a piercer, I think. I think he still is. And he told me, go and order from this place. It's nice. And I ordered. Okay, so guys, see? If you see any of this, it's from China. And it's not good quality. Okay? It's not. So I saw a lot of these on that profile, and it's a very known piercer in Egypt. So I know that this jewelry is from China. I know how much this cost. Okay, I know the quality of this. I know how many of my clients had problems with these. Okay, so that's why now I don't use these anymore, and I use Quality. Okay, Quality jewelry. It was a recommendation from a piercer from the US, and it's from the UK. And I also have this one is from Painful Pleasure from the US, and I also have from TDI. Okay, but the jewelry I work the most is from Quality. If you go to Quality's website, you can see their jewelry, and you can see that they're all made of titanium, certified titanium, implant grade titanium. Okay, so this is cheap jewelry. Okay, be careful with it. Comes from China. It costs us like almost nothing. It comes in a bundle of 100 or whatever. As look, I still have all that I ordered. It comes in a bundle. Look, I already have all these and more, and they are here for at least 3 or 4 years already. Because I also invested on jewelry quality. Okay, it's important. So Fatma was asking, how about if a piercer does correction when piercing? So it's possible. Okay, it's possible if the jewelry is titanium implant grade, high quality. It's possible to use something that is not plain. And what is a plain jewelry? The one I showed you, like plain, no stones, nothing. Okay, wait, like this. This is a plain one. Okay, no stones, nothing. So this, usually it's what's included. Okay, then curation. Okay, if it has something like a crystal, like this one or whatever, it can be used if it's implant grade titanium. If it's a heavy jewelry with chains on it, it's not that good. Okay, every jewelry that has hang things, it's going to be heavy on the wound. Okay, and the lighter the jewelry is, the better for the healing. Like the titanium jewelry is around 60% lighter than the surgical steel. Okay, that's also a reason why the healing with titanium jewelry, oh my god, today my tongue is stuck. It's better, okay, because it's lighter on the wound. For us, we don't see the difference, but on a little wound on our body, it makes a lot of difference. So if you have chains, no. Okay, if it has chains or things hanged, it's not good at all. Okay, it's going to put too much pressure on the wound. Okay, Fatima? Gold. I did a live last week about safe jewelry. Guys, watch it. Watch the live because it's very important. Gold, yes, if it's solid gold. But solid gold is very, very expensive. Yes, and it's not easy to find. Yes, you have places in Egypt that sell gold, but it's not 18K or 14K. And even though there are some alloys that are soft, and the solid gold, when it gets in contact with our body, it doesn't, it's not melt, okay, but it's yeah, it's kind of like it's so soft that dissolves. Yeah, I think that's it. Dissolves in our body fluids, okay, and it's not safe. But that is very expensive. That's why if you go to a Marieta shop, you don't pay 500 LEs for a piercing. No, it's impossible because it's solid gold, good quality. You pay a lot. So if you're paying, if you go to a piercer shop and he asks you for, sorry guys, 500 LEs and it says, oh, it's gold, impossible. Okay, if he tells you, oh, I charge 150 LEs, it's not good quality. Impossible. Impossible. Guys, good jewelry, it's not cheap. It's not that cheap. Okay, it's not that cheap. So, gold, if you want to have a golden look, please use titanium jewelry anodized in gold color. Anodized means it's a process, electrochemical process that changes the surface, not the metal, the jewelry itself, but it creates a thin layer that it's safe to our body. Even the plain jewelry, If they can all be anodized, it's going to be even better for your body, for the healing, because anodized jewelry, even if like plain color, the silver color, it's going to create that layer that is going to protect and help you with the healing. For example, this one, it says here high polish jewelry. It means it's polished, and it doesn't have any little scratches that can contaminate or trap bacteria or virus inside and get it inside your wound. Okay, so high polish titanium, implant grade titanium, it's the best. Okay, some piercers polish by hand, some buy it already polished. That's my next step. I already have the anodizing machine. In the future I'm going to invest on the polishing stuff. So how much the piercing with good quality material costs? Well, it depends on the jewelry. For example, when I started piercing, when I went to Egypt and I started piercing in Egypt, I charged, for example, the cheapest I have is a lobe that is 400 LE, okay? And I was using that jewelry, that cheaper jewelry. Then I realized that it was not okay. I had a better option, and my clients were having problems, were having issues, granulomas and things, and we know the quality of the water and everything, the weather, the dust, it's not good, okay? When I invested on the titanium jewelry, I decided not to change my prices. I could, because the titanium jewelry is it's more expensive than the surgical steel one, yes. But I didn't change my prices because I wanted to hand in a better quality and a better service to my clients, okay? So I decided to keep my prices, and what was the result? My clients had less issues, less complications. So they started talking more about my quality, my service to their friends, and they brought more friends and families and everything. So in the future, I earn more than by putting my prices higher, okay? But high quality jewelry is it's more expensive than a surgical steel one. Yes, it depends if it has crystals, if it has a Swarovski crystal, if it has an opal, if it has a cabochon stone. So it depends, because I have jewelry from Quality. The cheapest one, the plain one, is like 100 LEs, okay? And I have one 5 clusters piece that costs 600, I guess. I think 600. So it depends on what it has, okay? How to differentiate between titanium and surgical steel? Okay. For us piercers, we can only know if we have the report of the jewelry. Okay, so if we're going to buy jewelry, we must go to a supplier that has a report, the jewelry report. Okay, so I know that I'm buying high quality titanium, implant grade titanium from Quality, because they have that report. Okay, and I've asked that report and they sent me. So I know that I'm dealing with titanium, high quality titanium. Bare eye, we cannot see the difference. Okay, there is one way to weigh the jewelry. Guys, you need to have that schedule that is really precise to 0.000 grams. Okay, it's not easy. We sometimes can see the difference in the color of the jewelry. The titanium one is a little bit darker. The silver color is a little bit darker. But then you have the high polish and the polished and the non-polished ones. And sometimes they are so similar to surgical steel that you cannot see the difference. One thing that, if you anodize, for example me, once I was strict by a supplier, and I bought titanium jewelry that was not titanium, it was surgical steel. Okay, and when I got that inside the machine to anodize, when I started anodizing that jewelry, it fried. The titanium anodized, but the surgical steel fries. Okay, so that's a good thing. If you have an anodizing machine, that's a good way to see the difference between titanium and surgical steel. Okay, so any other questions? So I already talked about, if you want to do a piercing, look for certified piercers that sterilize their stuff. They have to have jewelry individually inside these little bags, and this must be brown or black color. It means it went into the autoclave to sterilize. Okay, everything needs to be packed individually and only open in front of you. Okay, the moment it's open, it's not sterile anymore. Okay, so if you already did a piercing and if you have complications, your piercer must help you. Okay, so if you go to a place and you buy a service, they must follow your healing. Okay, so I have so many messages every day, like, I went to this place and I got this pierced and now I have this complication. The first question I make is, have you spoke to the person that did that? And most of the times, yes, but they're not replying. Yes, but they don't know. No. So guys, please don't give money to that person. You're giving money to that person, and then he or she doesn't help you when you have a problem. Is that a good professional? I don't think so. How many of you already had this? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. How many of you already had this situation? None? Yeah. So, and if you want to be a piercer, I also already mentioned it. I'm preparing, I'm almost finishing translating my online course, and I'm going to open soon to people that want to get to be pierced. And guys, I really would love to have more certified piercers in Egypt, people that know what to do. And guys, there's market for everyone. There's a market for everyone. Okay, so if you don't have any other questions, I will finish the live for today. Tomorrow I'll be with Leticia. She's a Brazilian piercer, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff, especially how to get a good professional and how to be a good professional and other stuff. She speaks Portuguese. She's from Brazil, but she also speaks English. So tomorrow at 8 in Egypt, 7 in Portugal, and 4 in Brazil. Okay, next week we're going to do our live, and very soon I'm going to talk with 2 piercers that are certified in Egypt that you can trust and you can go to. Okay, we're going to be together here talking about it, and you can know them and you can ask them whatever they want. And guys, we're going to do a kind of giveaway and you're going to love it. Okay, thank you guys, thank you for watching. Send this to your friends that are willing to do a piercing, want to know a little bit more about it. So send this, save it for later, and see you next week.